All right, good morning to everyone, and well, good morning again. I pray that you're enjoying our programming right here on Second Advent Radio. And this morning we have in the studio of Second Advent Radio Brother Seth Burton. Brother Burton is the chairman of the celebrating committee, and he's in the studio today to talk to us about a special upcoming program at the New Bethel SDA church. So, at this time, we're going to ask Seth Burton to introduce himself and give us some information on what the program is all about.
So good morning, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here. The song said what? Celebrate.
Yes.
And I think that was, and in fact, a timely intro for what we're speaking about. So, the New Bethel Seventh-day Adventist Church, we are located in Liberta, and everybody knows that. But what everybody may not know is that we are celebrating a very special milestone year. 2022, in spite of COVID or what challenges that may bring, we are delighted that God has led us as a church. In fact, from Liberta, 115.
Wow.
That's 115 years of Adventism in the largest village in Antigua, in the most historic village in Antigua. And we are delighted, and we just want to celebrate that.
Yes.
In addition, we would have had the desire to do many celebrations in the past. So we have had homecoming celebrations back in 1997, homecoming celebrations in 2007.
Yeah.
But in spite of COVID, we have also edged out a nice little part for homecoming for some of our members who are coming from overseas. But most important, while some would be coming from overseas for the end part of our celebration, we are also calling home our membership throughout Antigua, Barbuda, and the world to pay attention to the reality that we believe that Christ is coming soon.
That's it.
So we have three daughter churches, namely Buckley's, Bethesda, and Joyful Way. And we're reaching out to them and we're saying, come home and celebrate with us.
All right.
But beyond that, if you were to understand Adventism in Liberta at one time, Liberta football team did not play on Saturday because there may have been so many Adventists.
Yes.
At times the police would tell you that you go through Liberta, Saturday is not a good time because half of the people in those early days were Seventh-day Adventists. Now it's a bit different.
Yeah.
So we are also calling home those absent members. Some people may call them backsliders. We don't. Some people may call them, some of them may have gotten COVID, cold feet.
Yes.
We're calling them back because our aim in our celebration, one of the key objectives is that in the year where we're celebrating 115 years of Adventism, we'd like to re-engage and reclaim 115 members throughout the year.
All right.
So in earnest, our celebration actually will kickstart our summer celebration, that is, on Wednesday, the 13th, with a consecration service, a very special consecration service at our church. However, at this moment, we're going through what we call a 15-day of prayer.
All right.
So that started on the 1st of July, and it climaxes on the 15th of July, where we are praying for absent or missing members. And then on that consecration, a special service on the 13th, we want to have a walk through the village. So we're going to start at the old site of Old Bethel, and we're going to walk through some of the alleys and some of the lanes and come over the hill, and then get to our church where we have a consecration of the members who are there. Then we move on, Sabbath the 16th. We get going and we would have a nice double bubble of consecration, a double bubble of getting God's Spirit moving amongst us as it has been, but also supplicating for those who are coming home. Then the celebration continues. It heats up on the 17th, which is Sunday the 17th in the afternoon. We're having a march of witness from the Liberta government or primary school right around to New Bethel. Now, here is it. On the way from the school, we are going to be reaching areas where the church existed for most of its life. So we're going to have a few stops at Old Bethel site, at the Tabernacle site, at where the first crusade was held, and then we move our way to the church. Now we're inviting not just our members, not just our Pathfinders, Adventurers, AYs, and the rest of the church, but we also want to reach out to Adventists in Antigua, the youth people, the community services people, the AY folks, and ask them to please join us in that March of Witness, which starts at 4 at the school on Sunday the 17th. Not this Sunday. We're doing many things island-wide this Sunday, but Sunday the 17th.
Yeah.
We want you to be there by 3:30. We leave at 4. We get to the church by 6, and we have a nice, very brief welcoming ceremony, and then the homecoming celebration sort of kicks off from there.
All right. I have some questions I want to ask you, Elder Burton. I heard you said a while ago, old site. Where is that old site?
Okay. So if you know Liberta
Yes.
as well as I do, there are two ways to look at it. At the old site where we called Old Bethel, you would see if you are on the way to the Liberta police station, it is just prior to the corner on the left-hand side of the Liberta police station. When you come around the bend, Spencer's Supermarket coming around that area, coming down the hill, on the left side just after Millionaire Street, there is a house, and then you would recognize there is a small little beauty salon, but behind that, there is that nice building in ruin, pink-looking building. That's where the church actually met as a church for years. But it then was built into a nice fashion church back in 1948, and then it was destroyed in 1968, before our time.
Yes.
Right, before you and I were born. And then that was the center. Then the church moved across the road on the other side to what they call a tabernacle, which was a nice little galvanized building to house themselves at that time, because it was not enough. The Sabbath school, some of the children used to have their Sabbath school under kidney mango tree, just a couple of meters from there. And then back in 1972, then they dedicated New Bethel. So this year in February, we had the opportunity of having what we call the soft launch. Around the same time, we were having a Pathfinder Expo. And during that soft launch, we just gave recognition to 50 years of New Bethel as you know it at its site. But here is the connection. Our consecration service on the 13th of July, which is next week Wednesday, will coincide with 25 years since the rededication of New Bethel, because after we would have had New Bethel and we would have been going around happy in 1995, Hurricane Louis came and it blew the roof down.
I remember.
Swept it well, at least you were around for that time. And then thereafter, the church was rededicated, and being rededicated the 13th of July would make 25 years of that.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. It's kind of out of the way, but just
That's
because
okay.
for history purposes. First, it's not really history, but the first, because we have about 3 more minutes. The program, because I've heard, any social events?
Excellent. Yes, there are social events, and I would go back into some history. So for each Saturday night, in fact, we would have Sabbath service on the 23rd. So we would have an old-time social, Saturday night social. The homecomers take Sabbath the 30th, and there would be a nice homecomers social as well.
Okay.
Usually on the carnival weekend, our church would have what we call our camp. But due to circumstances, we are not having a sleepover camp. But on the first, we would look to have a wonderful hike. We all gather at Fry's Beach. And then on the second, we would have what we call Fun Day. Between our church and the play field down below us at Trent Bridge. And then on the third, when most people are going to town to do other things, we'll be having a special sports day. But I would also like to note that during the week of on the 28th of July and also the 25th, they are earmarked for a few little events. Persons who are coming back may want to do an island tour. Persons may want to do circumnavigation. So those possibilities are also available.
All right. So so where can the general public get information about the 115th anniversary of Advent?
Okay, excellent. So we have our Facebook page, New Bethel Adventist. So those details are there. Also, we solicit information. If you need information, we would send that out to you. And we would do that in droves. And we would keep, updating you as to the changes. Now, I don't want you to just stop at what I was saying about July. In December, from the 18th of December to the end of the year, then we are having that grand homecoming part 2.
All right, part
And
2. All
yes,
right.
I want to mention part 2 because it is critical. We are doing community events. We are doing community and health events during this homecoming.
Yeah.
And we're also doing a choir fest to end on the 27th. This time we're doing a concert on the 24th
Yeah.
of July. So you're seeing events that may synchronize, one connect back to the other.
All right. But I know time is kind of going because we're kind of running against the time. But I'm going to ask you one question in 2 parts.
That's
all right.
right.
Maybe for history purpose, who is the first pastor for the church?
Okay.
And the first baptized member. I don't know if you know that information.
Okay.
Yes.
That is a tricky question,
Yes.
but I would go. What happened in terms of the emergence of the church?
You have 1 minute.
Right.
Yes.
A Methodist lay preacher by the name of Thomas Simon came out of Methodism and joined his wife, who saw a crusade taking place in 1907. And they got baptized as a family,
Okay.
along with some other members
Okay.
of the church. And then the church was about, 7 to 9 members. I know the first person was blessed was a young lady by the name of Estella Simon.
All right.
And then she then married Brown. She was blessed back in December 1907, around the time when you had that start of the movement.
Yes.
So there are lots of history involved.
All right.
Since then, we've had 13 ministers coming out of coming out of Liberta.
Yes.
Since that time, including Elder George Brown, who is now 98, the former president
Okay.
of the Inter-American Division.
Yes, yes.
So quite some history that we could also
right.
look at.
All right, so thank you so much, Brother Burton, for just coming in the studio of Second Advent Radio, enlightening us and sharing with us your activities. And I pray that God will continue to bless you and bless New Bethel SDA Church as they continue to celebrate and continue to spread the word of God. Thank
By
you
the
so
grace
much.
of God, thank you.
Yes.